that even fair. But we've come on with our cricket channel. There we go. Somebody's got a cricket book. Somebody's got stocked up on books. I'm a little jealous here. Um, Jim's beating me out on the flash of books. That's what I like about IBM TV. We're about knowledge, right? We're about sharing the wisdom and knowledge. Reading books is where you get most of that knowledge, right? And we're talking with Sharif over in Malaysia. He said all things are good there. They've had a really good success, low fatality rate. And this is always good news. This is the news we want to hear. But now they're working on the economic. Now that they're going to work on their making their living, right? We're living, now we're making our living. And I think that talking about this on a consistent basis, learning from each other what's going to happen. You gave a really interesting prediction of 2021 being a much stronger platform, and I hope we are definitely right on focusing that. There's some really interesting things people going, you know what, now that we're moving forward, 2020 doesn't have to be the worst year we ever had, right? We can certainly put together our hands and our resources to make 2020 the most productive and the most outcome in any century. It's our mindset, right?
Yes.
But speaking of economics, we got Lynn here, our Saturday. Hi, Lynn. And we got the patch. Look, he's got the patch.
He has the patch. He has the patch.
I'm going to put it on my head.
Yes, exactly.
He's going to wear it on his head when he plays Sasha. So
Sasha, absolutely. But he needs one for his arm, too, because when you move those chess players, it's tougher on the muscles and the tendons.
You got to move the piece, hit the clock, move the piece, hit the clock. Oh, repetitive stress.
Yes, it is. So anyway, but thank you for having me on. I love to be here. Great to see Jim and Sharif and Kimberly as usual. So let's talk about the dollar store. Kimberly, did you get? Are you? She's not moving. I think she's frozen.
She froze down. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So no matter, we'll talk about dollar store.
So
at least she was frozen in a good position.
In a very good position. So normally she brings up all the pictures, but we have. Right. I own the Shepherd Family Dollar Store. We are sponsoring Money Masters PBS, which owns the IBM.TV. We're very happy to be sponsors, giving half of our profit to Money Masters to Money Masters PBS. We love the mission, which is to provide financial education and cut the gap between poverty and sustainability. But right now, in today's day and age, with everything that's happening with COVID, even though this was started with the objective of teaching younger people to get out of poverty, there are a whole lot of people of a lot of different ages who really need to pay attention to financial education. But anyway, so let's talk about the dollar store. It's a win-win-win situation for people, because if in fact you're into learning about how to provide for yourself better, we save people money. Some of the things that we get are significantly cheaper. People can buy from our store than you would buy in other locations. Jim has already found that out. I wish we could do this in Malaysia, Sharif, but unfortunately we can't. But right now, that will come, by the way. Right now, we're in all 50 states in the United States. Shipping's a little more expensive to Hawaii and Alaska. But for the 48 contiguous states, people, if they order more than $25, shipping's free. If they become a customer by clicking the big green button on the IBM.TV site, if they become a customer, they get a $5 discount immediately on a purchase. So to get the patches that Jim had with lidocaine. They're a little bit more expensive than some of the other patches, but still you can get about 4 patches. You exceed maybe 5 patches, you exceed $25, and you take a $5 discount. You get basically 20% off, and almost 20% off, and you get delivered for free. And the profit, half of the profit goes to Money Masters PBS to support the mission of financial education. So we love what we do. If we bring up, there you go. So if you click out of the COVID bot, you can see the big green circle. And by the way, the big green button. And by the way, if you're like my father was and you're colorblind, the fortunate thing is you probably are not circle blind. So you can push the circle. And of course you can read. So it says shop at the dollar store. Oh, cricket. Now we'll have to talk a little bit about cricket too, but we have some great values. Look, we now have paper towels. We didn't have those before, so they're new. We have toilet paper. We have masks. In fact, actually yesterday when I went to the post office, and by the way, we deliver to your door unless you're one of the unlucky few that lives in a community that doesn't have delivery like I do. So you have to go to the post office. I went and picked up my box from the dollar store, and lo and behold, I got, well, I'm talking about the disposable medical masks, not the ones that Kimberly uses. But I picked up my disposable masks. There. Look at this. Jim is going to put his on. I already used mine to go to the post office this morning and pick up the mail. And my dog looked at me a little bit differently today because I had a different type of mask on than I normally put on. So, but this is a lot easier than the one that I've been using. So we have over 4,000 products. I know that Jim sat there for a day and a half going through all 4,000 products. Kimberly must be controlling this because here come the Minion napkins. Yeah. She loves Minion napkins. She loves all things Minion. So, and there are a lot of things Minion on our website.
Hey, Lynn?
Yeah.
Lynn, I wanted to tell you that since I've been on IBM TV, I ordered some teeth whiteners.
Oh.
I could make sure that I looked more presentable.
Are you saying that I need to as well?
No, I'm not saying that at all. But I still am a Yankee fan.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I knew I could get them.
You had to bring that one up. Yeah. And
no, but
sadly,
there's so many products. There's so many products you can't find. You cannot be a person who cannot find something on this store.
Exactly. That's true. And so you don't have to go out. You don't have to contribute to the respiking of COVID cases. Just stay at home, have it delivered to your door, save money, support Money Masters PBS. I mean, it's win, 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 win. So,
Lynn, I am not like Kimberly. I do not like to shop. And this is perfect for me because I can get it delivered to my door and
Absolutely.
I can pick out what I want and only what I want. And then it shows up. This is perfect for me.
We are going to be carrying Phillies caps. I doubt very much whether we will ever carry Yankees caps. Did
you guys really boo Santa?
Absolutely. It is true. See, Ankit and Sharif have never heard this. Phillies, the Philadelphia sports fans can be really, really brutal. And
really?
One year, somebody came out in a Santa Claus uniform and the crowd just simply booed like crazy. So there you go. I was not there, Jim. I have to honestly tell you. But look at this, mothballs. So it's interesting because I think we have some, but we're going to need to order more. And thank you for showing me that, Kimberly, because we were just putting away a lot of our winter stuff, my wife's cashmere sweaters and things, which need to be, for the winter, to be kept away from all the moths. We need mothballs. And then, of course, if somebody you know is having a child and you can't get to the shower, send the gifts, because you can have them sent anywhere you want to send them. So this is great. I don't have to push any buttons and all these things pop up, which Kimberly is showing us. So yeah, we have tons of products, and look, from name brand people, Pampers, Johnson & Johnson, and I live in Johnson & Johnson land. Their main office is about 45 minutes from here, and the makers of Tylenol, they're only about 15 minutes from here. So anyway, there you go. And Johnson & Johnson owns Tylenol. Get CBD products, get masks. Jim's patch that he was showing you with lidocaine is a CBD patch with lidocaine in it. I'm getting ready to put some on my left arm where I have some tendonitis, because when I get off of the show, it's time to go out and work in the yard. So as Kimberly says, put them on before you have a pain. And I know that I'm going to have a pain in my left arm when I'm finished. So, but I won't have one on my head from playing Sasha in, what can I say, Jim? I am not the.
Are we saying Sasha is? We got to wear a pain patch when we play Sasha? Because
absolutely. That the first time I wasn't wearing one, and my head started hurting, and you're saying do prevention, so put it on before I play them.
We had Dr. Tula here who could probably say this is probably the smart way to do things, right? Things that hurt you. But if you do, be smart about it. But hello, Dr. Tula.
How are you, ma'am? How are you, Kim? All well?
I'm all well. I've been eating well today, having great conversation, laughing. Those are all great things in life.
Yeah,
isn't laughing one of the things that you need to do to keep your spirits up in the period like this? Yes. So I love
it's the best medicine.
It is the best medicine. I love people sending me email jokes that make me laugh. Just like the one where the guy sneezed. He was in his kitchen and the cat just went charging down the back stairs because the guy didn't have a mask on. That was one of my the fun ones that I saw. So anyway, whoops! It looks like Kimberly froze again.
Well, she doesn't seem to get frozen in a bad position. So
no,
I have to worry about that. If my screen freezes, I'll be doing this or something. But Kimberly's got it down.
There is some bandwidth issue going around. I think Kimberly's facing that, and I'm also having some bandwidth issues. So that's a part of the live telecast we do on IBM TV.
Well, when we connect across the world, these are the things we run into. And, it's better to be connected than not.
Absolutely, it is. So she said the other day that her wireless router, they came out and they said, well, it's going to work best for you. We'll put it in your garage. And I'm not sure why anybody would do that. But mine happens to be sitting here about 5 feet away from where I am. But think of this, I'm not socially distanced from my wireless router.
I didn't think of that. Mine's right here too.
I better put my mask on.
Yes.
So and Dr. Tula. Yes.
Don't sneeze on your router.
Yeah.
The router is not going to sneeze on you. Rather than the other. I am sure the router is no offense meant, but the router is not your wife.
There you go.
Sometimes it's like this.
Yeah.
You need to
Jim,
balance between router and your wife.
See, we've all got great people on the show who I'm sure are married, and they are the greatest teachers on this earth. Look at Jim. I mean, the way he dresses up, flamboyance all around. I'm sure he is managing his wife the best.
She picked this shirt out for me.
Yeah.
I would not look like this if I was dressing myself.
Yeah, so that's the beauty of it. You are the perfect manager. You manage her excellent by agreeing and submitting to her to do whatever she wants to do with you.
Yes.
So, Dr. Tula, does your wife dress you, Dr. Tula?
No. We are absolutely poles apart. So the best way is that when you see, one of my professors used to tell that married men are like split ACs.
Like
so they
what?
make all the noise outside. When they come home, they are quiet.
Oh, right, right. Over here, it's I'll do anything my wife wants me to do. Right?
Yes.
Well,
yes.
I used to say yes,
that's
dear.
The best way for that's the best way for a successful marriage.
I used to say at the two most important words after a man after I do are yes, dear. But I've now upgraded that to I'm happy to do it.
Oh, great. So these are some worldly wise words from Jim. They should be circulated to all the married people. This is the perfect way of remaining happy in marriage.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to brag. I have to say that I've been luckily married for 54 years as of next Thursday.
Oh my God! That's
congratulations.
Yeah,
congratulations.
You.
I mean, it's no mean feat. It's no mean feat.
It wasn't. It was easy actually. Because I have a wonderful wife and she's very easy to live with. She's actually working from home right now, and I'm going to go into a fit of depression when she has to go back to work. So because I love having her home, so that's what's great. But anyway, it's I think it's an achievement, but it's one that I'm very proud of, and I'm really happy to have achieved.
Well, you are a lucky man as well.
That's wonderful.
I am lucky, for sure. Thank you. Thank you. Where's Kimberly? Is she still frozen out?
She's in her garage trying to fix her wireless.
So let's talk about cricket after we discuss about wives, because in India, wife doesn't like their husband to watch cricket in India. I think Dr. Tula would agree to me.
So, so the best way is to get the wives into doing something more constructive, because apparently they're not going to let you see. I mean, and if you have buddies coming home, then the scowl will go even more
deeper. Yes. You get a line in your face.
Yeah, absolutely. The wife will, even if you don't, the wife will.
Yes.
And then you will run after making that line go away and spend more money on doing that.
How much do you charge for Botox now? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
No. It's in India. It's damn cheap. You don't have to worry about. In India, it's very, very cheap. It's hardly the amount what you pay in US. It will be 1/3 of that amount. So it's hardly anything.
Yeah.
It's time for Jim to take a flight to India.
Oh yeah.
He's most welcome. We'll do complimentary for him. Don't worry.
So
that's a gift from my side to Jim. Don't worry. Once the things start coming, you come to India. Maybe you can travel around. You can see around a lot of things. We'll make an itinerary for you to travel around. and Botox is complimentary from my side
Compliment.
Oh
Great.
my
as a
goodness.
friendship
That's wonderful.
token.
Thank you so much. I mean, IBM TV has given me so much already. But this is a bonus.
Great.
I first learned about the dollar store, and now I'm getting free Botox.
Yeah, free Botox. Yeah.
Now we have to teach you cricket as well, because once you
Yes.
land in India, you have to play cricket.
I want to. I definitely want to, because it's so much. To me, the baseball comparisons were so easy for me that I could. But I don't know if I want to be a bowler or a batter though, because I like the idea of making someone else beat me instead of then I have to demonstrate my prowess, which I think I would be sorely lacking. My hand-eye coordination is not what it
We
used
can
to
add
be.
more KVD patches and then we can play cricket.
Yeah.
But Jim, I think I'd rather be a bowler than a batter, because the cost of a bat could be $1,800. How much is a ball going to cost?
That's a great point.
It should cost
That's the
around
businessman.
$25 or something.
How much? $5?
$25 or something.
Oh, $25. Yeah, well, see, I mean, so I think
You can get a bowling ball for that.
Well, yeah, you can. That's true.
Maybe I'll get a bowling ball and then bowl it and see if you can hit it.
So, Sharif,
You're talking to a chess player.
Do you play cricket in Malaysia, Sharif?
Malaysia, yes, it like example, it's not heavily popular in Malaysia, but people play cricket.
What is popular in
like
soccer,
here?
football?
Soccer,
Yeah.
football. This kind of things actually very popular here. And
Yes.
but cricket is not too much of popular. But here, yes, because there are many Indian community live in Malaysia. So they actually love to play cricket, and by this way they engage with the cricket. They arrange cricket tournament. In fact, in Malaysia, they arrange cricket tournament.
And do you follow cricket, Sharif?
Yes, of course. Why not?
Okay.
Yes.
So which team you vote for?
No, basically, I'm telling you the truth. Like if I follow cricket a lot, not like example for 2, 3, 4, 8 hours, but when I get chance, like example, cricket is very interesting, especially in South Asia, right? South Asia, many people love it. So let's say Sachin Tendulkar from India, even he's a very famous one. Even example now Virat Kohli, right? Virat Kohli is a very famous cricketer and a very good batsman. He's also like very popular. Even specifically from Indian cricket teams like Anil Kumble, okay, and Kapil Dev. I think Kapil Dev he also win World Cup on behalf of India. So he was also captain, and he has a very good personality. I think South Asia cricket is very very instrument, right? All of the corporate house and all of the government, even everybody. I know that even in India, I think that many cricketers also go to parliaments because maybe they are very popular, and these things happen. So cricket actually like every region have some sort of influential things. So I think South Asia and these things in cricket is very important. Even Australia is not so far from here. Australia cricket also important, but market wise, business wise, I think India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, they are even Sri Lanka, it's huge. And where I live in Malaysia, actually there are Indian people, Pakistani people, Sri Lankan people. So we live in big condominium, so we have a playground. So naturally different countries people, they play cricket here, especially children, and they love cricket here. But this is true, but I'm afraid, like you are just discussing about wife. So I do not know, all of your wives actually observing this show or something, but how do you survive?
This is the best one. This is the best one. This is the best one.
That's a googly. That's a googly.
Yeah. So I presume you can send the snippets on the Facebook of each of these guys, and then we'll see what happens at it. And as their president says, we'll see what happens. So we'll go with that.
I'll give an example, sir. What happened is that I invited one of the English cricketers in today's show, and he said that tomorrow is their anniversary. He would rather come tomorrow to attend a music cafe show on Sunday on IBM TV rather than choosing a cricket show today.
Oh.
So it's not about that, it's about everywhere, I mean.
So you brought up a question that I have. Here in the United States, of course, we have women's soccer. We have women playing lots of different sports. Do women also play cricket?
Yeah, they play cricket, yeah.
Oh, do they? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
We have an international cricket team.
The Indian cricket, women cricket team is quite popular nowadays in India.
Is it?
And they've done very well in the recent past. They've done very well. They reached up to the finals of the World Cup also. That is the one-day tournament. And they've done well. I mean, so
yes,
they become
the
quite
U.S.
popular.
soccer team, the U.S. women's soccer team has been our pride and joy as well, because you know that is or football, but we call it soccer here because
I understand.
we have a different football.
I'll tell you one more thing, that we have a blind cricket where India is the champion. We have handicap cricket where people with handicaps or people with the disability they play cricket as well, and that also India is the champion.
Wow!
Awesome.
Yeah. We are coming up with a senior cricket team as well. I don't know the tournament name, but that was supposed to happen this year, but because of COVID, it would extend. So that is something, some name.
Yeah.
So all the seniors will play cricket like that. So cricket is a religion, and as Sharif said, in South Asia, the biggest religion is cricket. Apart from that, then people will discuss about their own thing. But cricket is something which everyone follows.
So I had a question for Mr. Sharif, that when the Indians and the Pakistani land on the pitch, I hope there is no war which happens between them.
No, I believe that according to my understanding, cricket also gives them very good friendly relationship, right? Like between the community, even actually those countries actually politically good, so they are love to play cricket when they need even their relationship good. I think cricket playing a very good role. Even I think Pakistan Imran Khan, he also was cricketers, and so those who actually legendary cricketers from South Asia, I think they play a very good role for their country, for their politics and everything. So this is the interesting. And even though I find that those who are the American peoples and those who have a connection with India, they know even about the cricket and this kind of things, because this is really religion for South Asian people. Yes.
Well, I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, and there's a strong Indian population here. So there are cricket leagues even here.
Yes.
So, Jim, I wanted to ask you one thing, that in America, I mean, do sportsmen, I mean, join politics, or are they doing well in politics, or what? We never heard any, and I mean, at least I have not heard of any of the people who were playing sports. They went into politics and did very well in America. Has that, I mean, what is the status of?
Yes, well, we have two embarrassing examples. One is a professional wrestler became the governor of Minnesota. And in California, my state, we elected Arnold Schwarzenegger, a bodybuilder, as a governor. So, but it is a very good point. People who dedicate their lives to athletics are not grooming themselves for the political world. You know, because if you want to get into politics, that is something you dedicate your life to. And these athletes are dedicating their lives to something else. But there are stars in football that have gone into politics. There was a Congressman Watts, and I think it was Oklahoma. I might be wrong there.
Oklahoma, right.
Yeah. And, you know, so there are people that make that transition because there are very presentable people who have name recognition, and that eases their way into the political world. But it's very difficult to make it to the very highest levels, because then you have to have the political connections.
So there is no mass following of these sports stars like that is in India. India, I mean, we are
Oh,
wild
yes.
about these.
You want to be like Mike?
Questions.
Have you ever heard the term "be like Mike"? Yeah,
But
Michael Jordan was a fabulous basketball player, and then all these
Yeah.
commercials. He made as much money by commercials as he did as a basketball player, because everybody wanted to be like Mike.
Mhm.
And I think he was one of the and I think he was one of the superstar or maybe a super sportsman in the world. I mean, after that, people follow,
Yes.
but he was the first one. We can
Yes.
say the global super model in sports, basically. There are a lot of
I
good
see
Olympians
pictures.
happening, but yeah,
Yes,
a lot of good
as an
Olympians.
Olympian
But
champion.
yeah,
And there's billboards in Barcelona with his face,
Yeah.
and it's like so he is a worldwide figure, and some people don't make that transition from national champion and national sportsman to the world stage. But some people, Michael Jordan was one of a kind, so he did.
and I think LeBron James and other were also following that. But fortunately, we had a incident happen with LeBron James, and then
So, Jim, one notable sports figure who did succeed in politics was Jack Kemp, who
Oh yes, great
became
football player.
he was a quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, and then he basically was into supply side economics. Was in the Reagan administration, one of the
Yes.
cabinet members. So he's one notable exception.
I agree.
But you're absolutely right. I mean, literally, I'm not quite sure when very successful sports figures here in the United States have the opportunity. I'm not sure why they would want to pick politics, because they can't possibly steal as much money as they can. Oh, did I say that? I apologize.
It's not as profitable.
Go ahead.
It's not as profitable as making just by helping to sell products and promote products.
And LeBron James, he was playing for Cleveland, then Miami. Now he's in LA. Why is he in LA? It's Hollywood.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So where is he going with his career? That's where we're going.
Kobe Bryant, he was.
Kobe Bryant,
Kobe
yes,
Bryant,
tragically,
Yeah.
tragic ending to his life. But he was another one that was a magnificent player and also a star. And it's just tragic. But there are also many. And Lynn was talking about this, and there are many examples of people making a lot of money and then not managing it well and losing everything, because these people are dedicated to their sports. And they're taken advantage of by agents. They're taken advantage of by people that are around them asking for their money. And some of them are very soft touches, and some of them just are not financially literate. And so the ends to their lives sometimes are very sad. As great as they were, and as entertaining, we were entertained by them for so long, and then we forget about them.
I may be wrong, but I think Mike Tyson, who made millions and millions and millions of dollars as a boxer, was basically almost bankrupt.
Yes.
Now I may be wrong. I may have picked the wrong example, but there are so many examples of sports figures like that. And Jim's absolutely right. They'll hire the wrong agent, or they'll have somebody come to them and give them a good idea, quote a good idea, and say, well, you have the money, let's support this, and they plunk $5 or $10 million into a scheme that never works.
It was never intended to work.
No, never intended to work. Or many people, invested with Bernie Madoff, and I have a friend who used to be in the investment business, and he said to me, when he was on the train on the way into Philadelphia to his office, he would sit with another financial advisor, and the two of them would say, say to each other, can you figure out how he's making that kind of money? Because they were very familiar with the markets, and yet look the owners of the New York Jets. I think it was the New York Jets. Almost lost everything because they had invested with Madoff. So, sports figures aren't the only ones.
That's true.
So, unfortunately, I have to sign off because I have my marching orders.
I got it.
From
I got
the higher command. From the higher
You're
command.
going on 50.
The general is
54
ordering
years,
him to off.
soon to be 55.
So thank you for your sponsorship, Lynn, and have a blessed day.
Thank you. You
Yes.
too. Yeah.
Thank you.
And now I'm no longer afraid of Sasha.
We're going to be marketing CBD patches as this strength, right?
Yeah. And before I play them, not after.
So have y'all been talking cricket, or are we talking? What are we talking since I got knocked out? Because I literally.
I'm sorry
We
you
are
got
talking
knocked
cricket
out.
and we are talking sports, and we are talking sports heroes, and we are talking about how much money a sportsman can make and how much money they can lose within the same lifeline. That is what we are discussing.
Let's talk about that, right? Because if you're not careful with the money you make, that's the secret I learned on my journey with Nick. Was it's not about how much money you make; it's how you manage it. Right? Of course,
And
we
Dr.
all
Tula,
make a lot of money, but
you asked me how it was for American sportsmen. How is it in India? Do you have the same kind of examples of people making a lot of money and then losing it, or is it different there?
So actually, the thing is that people who are all the older generation, they were not that smart with their money. I mean, let's be very candid about that. So I'm talking about the sportsmen per se, not only of the sportsmen, also about the previous. I mean, actors also, people who were into public profiling also, they were not very smart with their money choices. But the newer generation, I believe, is much more smart, or they have better managers, I would say. So apparently, they seem to be.
Better opportunities as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. If I were to compare myself with Ankit, Ankit will be a more smarter person than me. Right?
Right.
So he is the smarter one. I am the dumb one. Right?
My nieces will be smarter than I.
Yes.
That's the spirit. We want to build our future for our children. So it's the way it should be, right?
Yeah.
We should want more for our future children, whether it's our nieces, our children, or our grandchildren. That's why we do the best we can, is to Ankit hopefully is a lot smarter. But the reason why I want them smarter and better educated and have a lot of integrity, because this is something we need to instill in them, is because they got to take care of me when I get older. Because I'm going to get older, because I'm going to make sure.
That's exactly what my wife says.
My technology makes me live longer, and we do healthy things like Dr. Tula has been teaching us, right?
Yeah.
So Kim, the first thing is you don't get older, you get younger and younger every day.
That's right.
Look at
I was
Jim.
so much older then. I'm
He
younger
looks
than
younger
that.
and younger and younger. Every time I see him with this flowery shirts, I feel, this guy really lives his life. and he can be an inspiration for a lot of people, including Ankit.
Yes, certainly.
Yes.
And I'm sure he is.
Yes. When you grow your beard and it's this color, you'll be smarter than I was.
Yeah.
Okay. But I tell you, Dr. Tula, after listening to your comment, Kirim froze down as usual, and the bandwidth is an issue. Maybe because after listening to you, or maybe she's just trying to catch up something. So, Dr. Tula, what's your cricket memories?
So see, of course, we have got memories of cricket. Cricket was like, earlier in the previous era, we did not have too much, sources of entertainment, because our TV channels also were very limited and all that. And plus, our parents were also little strict with us. They didn't allow us to watch a lot of television during our younger years. So I think our most, earliest cricket memories are a lot to do with listening to the commentary. And that was based on the transistor. So we didn't have
Yes.
TV sets at that time. So I think the best memories were way back. I mean, I would call them the first generation of my living characters, where there were Kapil Dev, Sunil Gavaskar, Johan. These were people who were of that era, Anshuman Gaikwad. So there were a
Yeah.
lot of off tours which used to happen to New Zealand and England and Australia, where the timings were very different. So, for example, in New Zealand, the commentary used to start at 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning. So
Right.
we, as small children, used to wake up at that time and used to listen to that commentary, because by 1 o'clock of Indian local time, the match was, or the day was over. Then
Yeah.
those were the days of test matches. One day matches hardly used to happen at that time. And so that is my first memories of cricket. And then we came back to the World Cup. Once the one day started, then the best memories, of course, were the Kapil Devils, as you call them. That is the Indian cricket team during the era of Kapil Dev, who won the 1975 World Cup. So these are also one very good memories. Then we have later on also, when we had the era of when Saurav Ganguly took over the captaincy, and we had
Yeah.
world's best four batsmen in our lineup, and that was also a pleasure to watch, and especially their duels with the greats of Australia. I mean, Australians at that
Yeah.
time were at the peak of their prowess, and it was beautiful to see. India play Australia, especially in Australia. So we used to love that
Yeah.
duels a lot. And then now we have another robust captain and a very agile team, which I think is at the moment the best in the world. I mean, arguably I would say, but I don't see that they are none to say. Second best. They are doing extremely well, and I'm sure they'll keep on doing well. So this is how the analogy of cricket has started with us. We started with the test matches. Slowly, steadily, we have gravitated more towards the one day. I do watch a lot of test cricket till date, because it's more, I would say,
Yeah.
purist. So as we grow older, we start getting deviating toward the more purist ideology, right? Jim will agree with me because he's smiling on that.
Yes, I started to tell the neighborhood kids to get off my lawn.
That's how it
So, but I have to tell you, this is when you talked about the transistor radio. In the United States, it was baseball. So
Yes.
when my mother would put me to bed before the game was over, so I would be sitting with my pillow and my transistor radio. So the pillow, she couldn't hear it because my pillow was but I could hear it. So I would listen to the games, and it was the announcers that I identified with. They were describing the action.
They were spectacular. I don't
Yes.
believe those kind of announcers
Yeah.
can be, replicated in today's era. They were
Yes.
out of the world. They used to
And they give you
give a
vision as well.
commentary in that sense which you could visualize.
Visualize.
They were too
Yes.
good. They were too good.
You could see what was
And
happening even though you couldn't see it.
Talking about transistors,
Yes.
my memories with Walkmans basically. So my memories with Walkmans, because when I started listening cricket,
Yeah. So
we
you
have
would have,
Walkmans.
yeah,
And
we had
I used to
Walkman.
keep the Walkmans, and I just take a nap, and I'm listening all those games which happened at night. And we generally used to take Walkmans in our school as well, just to listen what's going.
Oh,
That is what cricket was.
Oh, there.
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
And then when college
getting out of
we used to
schoolwork.
SMS.
I'm sorry, Anka, you broke up a little bit there.
Sharif is based in Malaysia. I guess
I live
soccer.
Yes,
Soccer
yes,
is
definitely.
soccer is the one thing which they play at every park.
Yes. Soccer. Malaysia is a very popular. Here is like many young peoples. They engage with these things. Here, Malaysia, like what I can see, because I have a good understanding about the subcontinent culture. Here, sports. Yes, okay, soccer is a good thing, but not so influential like South Asia, like India. How Indian people actually involved with cricket and movies. I think like Bollywood and cricket.
Bollywood.
Yes. Bollywood, I think also, and another interesting thing, what I know that Bollywood and cricket has good relation in India, right? Even I think Virat Kohli, like I think I don't know, you know better than me, but in personal life he married a famous actress as well. I think they are very
that
famous.
happens here.
Yes. So this is very interesting, but here not like so. Like what can I tell you? Like people, even though I strongly engage with young people, so they are not like example. So but they love to play. They love to play soccer. They love to go to gym. They go for swimming. This is another things. But I think India is a big things for cricket and this kind of things.
But
Sharif, I think Malaysia people used to play those badmintons and table tennis. I think they more.
Yes, but it's true. It's true. These kind of things they play. But example, if I compare, like example, how you said, how you passionate, like from your childhood to present, this kind of things. Here, I think not so much of influence. Like example, yes. So when soccer come, like everybody stop all of their things. But what I see from the South Asia, like when cricket come, everybody stop. Everybody do like watching cricket, this that. It's not. Especially, I think IPL, Indian Premier League, is a very popular things, and huge amount of money actually cricketer get paid through this process. What actually doctor said that now present generation is much more smart. I think that it's a culture, corporate culture or something like now corporate integrated with this cricket. So I think that is the way that how economically they are making huge amount of money. Here actually culturally not so influential like this. Here is only one thing I saw, that Rajanikanth is very famous here for Indian people. Yes, yes. Because
So,
here you find the people are driving cars and car is full of Rajanikanth pictures. Even Air
But
Asia, here is a yes, a very
so
popular Air
Sharif,
Asia.
we need to explain who is Rajnikant to Jim, because Jim is not aware who is Rajnikant.
Yes,
So
yes.
Jim Rajnikant is one of the super, I mean, what you can say, actor in India. He's very famous in India and across as well. And he does movies in like 4 or 5 languages in India. And he generally chooses a subject which is a heroic kind of a subject, and that is what he does best. And people come and watch those movies at 4 a.m. in the morning.
Yes. Yeah, I got what he was saying because I could relate.
he is a better version of Arnold Schwarzenegger, I would say. Right? Because
a big movie star now.
Schwarzenegger doesn't know how to romance women. He knows how to romance women also.
There you go. That's what it's about. But Dr. Tula, I wanted to ask you, what is the most common injury playing cricket that you would suffer?
So, see, honestly speaking, the most common injury while playing cricket is always going to be the ligament injury. Because what happens is you have muscle tears and ligament injuries. These are the most common, right? I mean, because apparently your posture, everything is different. And I mean, at the end of the day, you can always, basically tear a ligament or something. This is similar to what happens in football. The only difference in soccer is that generally they have meniscal injuries. In cricket, we do not do those kind of movements. So the meniscal injury tear is going to be less. Apart from there, the injuries are going to be virtually similar.
Is there a lot of stopping and starting and changing directions? Yes.
Yeah.
So
that's what happens a lot when you have to plant your foot and change directions.
And Jim, I'll tell you, while playing cricket, I don't have the correct data, but 2 people have lost their life as well, because they were sitting very close to the ball, and the batsman hit it, and it just hit in the head, and they lost it. And also, a lot of people, I think more than 10 or so, they lost their eyes. So so there's a ball hit by the batsman, and it's just flashes on their eyes, and then they lose the ball as well. And that's why people lost their cricket career, and they're doing a lot of other things as well. But they're still a part of the great fraternity. So cricket is not an easy game in terms of people who are not athletic. And most common injury, as Dr. Tula said, there is one more injury, because a lot of people feel during the cricket for like 3 hours, 4 hours, and they twist their ankle.
Yes, I can imagine that.
Yeah, and I'll tell you one more thing. While a bowler bowling the ball with a fast bowler, so he runs down maybe like 20 or 30 laps before he bowls, and then while running it out, he somehow because of the so much of energy, the thumb of the right leg, it comes pop out from the shoe.
Wow. Yeah. I can see that.
Because the bowler gets a lot of energy from their legs, and that's how they generate the power, and then they bowl. And the average fast bowling would be around 130 kilometers per hour, which is approximately 80 miles per hour. So to generate a lot of energy, they used to do a lot of
underhanded too. Underhanded. So yeah, that's fast.
So they do overhanded here. I mean, they don't do underhanded in like baseball. They walk it out and they ball like this.
Oh, okay. I understand now. But I brought this subject up because I thought Dr. Tula might have been doing some facial reconstruction from people being hit by it.
We had a number of patients in which they either jaws were broken or the ball hit them in the eye area. So I mean that is an though people now have protective gear, but still I mean the bowlers are ruthless. I mean you have these guys bowling down at 150, 152 kmph per hour also. So that is a huge amount of speed. And when it takes an impact, maximum times this, even if they're wearing these protective gear, the ball sometimes manage to go inside and hit the face. So that is quite possible even with this gear also. And then you need to understand, even with the fast bowler especially, see, bowling is not an anatomical action, right? Normally when we bowl, in cricket especially, it is not an anatomical friendly way of going around your own job, right? So generally the bowlers especially, they break down and have a lot of stress fractures. So these stress fractures can be related to their ankles. It can be sometimes even in their vertebra and spine also.
Wow.
Because of their uniqueness of bowling. So these are common sports injuries which happen. So I mean, it's a challenge. And maximum times these bowlers in their lifetime always will break down in between tournaments, because I mean, if they are, especially with fast bowlers.
What would you say is their career lifespan, a bowler?
So any fast bowler maximum lifespan is going to be, if they're smart, that means that they choose and select games and keep their layoffs in between, then maybe maximum 15 years, otherwise not more than 10 years.
Yeah. But batters play around 15 to 20
they play
years.
more. Yeah, they play more. The batsmen have the luxury of playing more.
Yeah.
Till their hand-eye coordination is good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or they are not thrown out of the team.
I was going to say, yes. But my hand-eye coordination is not the best, so I didn't think I would be a good batsman. But from what you're telling me, I wouldn't be a good bowler either.
No, you will be a lovely wicket. You are suited for the apt job of wicket keeping. you will be a beautiful wicket keeper.
Dr. Tula, a question for you. Jim looks like one of the umpires we have in cricket.
Yeah. He definitely looks like.
Yes. I'm glad to be umpire. Yes, that's my job.
I presume he looks like Shepherd.
Shepherd.
But do I get to call? Do I get to call fouls or anything like that? Can I say?
No. He was a very seasoned umpire.
And Jim, I'll tell you also, umpires, we have a lot of celebrity umpires in cricket, and they are so popular like the cricketers basically, because they are always in the game, and they are making decisions. So suppose if I'm playing a ball and if I'm not out, if umpire gives like this, I have to go back to the pavilion.
Right.
Yeah. So they have more power.
So they are like your wives.
Our what?
Wives.
Oh yes. If they tell me to go to my room, I go to my room. I go to your pavilion. Okay. No, I'm suited. I'm made for umpire. If I could throw you out, then that's the job I want.
So it just tells us that you've been thrown a lot around. So you want to now get back at
Well, the last segment we were talking about Kimberly being trapped in an aquarium when the lights went out and the gates came down. And I thought immediately, anytime the lights are turned out on me, it's a bad situation. There are some places I should have left before the lights went out.
but one thing I have question to Dr. and Ankit especially. I think that these cricketers, and they are very hardworking, and in especially a country like India, they have very big pressure on electronic media, many supporters, and many things. So actually how they handles, like how they prepares and how they make them fit, like for playing cricket and these things. As a doctor, can you explain that? What
So
type
see, Sharif, what used to happen was the previous generation players. I'm talking about one generation back, right?
Yes,
And if you go even 2 generation back, the players used to prepare everything. They used to manage everything because they did not have these so-called perimetry managers for them, right? Over a period of time, the sport has become more professional. So now you have a lot of battery of people who are supporting you, right? Apart from your team staff, which is there, which is, I mean, going to take care of you. Maximum cricketers now, they have their personal trainers, their personal psychologists, and a lot of things which comes from their perimetry. So as the sport has grown more, they have also learned them to detach from the surroundings. So as I told you, that all people have become smarter as time passes. I mean, it's because now people to do that are available. In the previous generation, it was not like that. I mean, it's simple that even if you look at your childhood, I mean, you look at your childhood and look at what is happening now. I mean, it's miles different.
transforming. Yes.
So it
Even
just
in the
looks
world
that
of chess.
we were. So I'm sure Jim and me, who are going to be nearly on the same age group, we will feel that we were in Stone Age back then.
They're walking around with these things. I didn't even know what this was.
Yeah. So that's what it is. So I mean,
But it's true in the world of chess as well. You know, when I used to be a competitor, you know, we would go out for drinks after the rounds were over. After, hours and hours of concentration, everybody wanted to unwind. So we would go to the bar. And nowadays, the professional chess players, they don't drink, they take care of themselves, they're staying physically fit. And it's like, I look at them and I say, man, it was not like that in the old days. You know, we didn't take care of ourselves as well as they do today. They're smarter.
Jim, do you think he looks like you?
Yeah.
He's not wearing a cap, so I can't know. I'm not sure.
He's a very
he's got to have glasses.
No. So this is maybe a young picture of him, but he's one of the famous Australian cricketers, and he was a fast bowler.
Yeah. So he is Jason Gillespie. So he is Jason Gillespie, who was one of, I mean, at one time he was one of the best bowlers in the world all around.
Yes.
And
he looks like he would want to take your head off.
Yeah. So you know what his nickname was? He was named as Dizzy. His nickname was Dizzy. Yeah. So
he
they
hit you in the head.
he didn't have the brains to do things all right. So he was always in a state of dizziness. So he was called Dizzy.
Yeah.
By his teammates.
Well, we had a picture. We had a picture in the old days called Dizzy Dean, and it was for the same reason. But you didn't want to get hit by a pitch from Dizzy Dean.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Sharif, back in Bangladesh, I mean, they're also doing good in terms of cricket, and cricket is growing in Bangladesh, and it's one of the popular games in the country as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Basically, like example, Bangladesh. Actually, I'm long time I'm outside Bangladesh, but I have informations about the Bangladesh cricket. They are competing very well. Especially, doctor said about the injury. I can say one thing like example, Bangladeshi previous captain Mashrafi bin Mortoja. He has 6 and 7 surgery in his knee.
Yes.
So after long that, like doctor said, you cannot play cricket. Then he come back and 7 and 4 and I think 6-7 years he continued his cricket. Recently he retired. But interesting thing is that like he even a very popular cricketer in Bangladesh. Even Shakib Al Hasan, I think he played also.
Yeah, Shakib Al Hasan is very popular. I mean, in India also, the Bangladeshi cricketers are quite popular, I presume.
Yeah,
they got a couple of all-rounders who are very, very popular.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
Mortaza was one who was very popular in India.
Yes, yes. I think India and Bangladesh has very good cricket relations, and everywhere. Even example, everywhere business organizations to cricket everywhere has India has even actually I think Sourav Ganguly, he is very famous in Bangladesh. He's from Kolkata. He's from Kolkata, I think. So that's even actually like my grandmother, she also from Kolkata. Even my wife's grandmother, she also from Kolkata. So actually, we are actually from same origin. But example, okay, someone goes to Bangladesh, someone goes to India. This is happened. But interesting thing is that when I visited India and this thing, I find that Indian people actually everywhere professionally everywhere. So I love to follow that when how that's why I'm asking you a question that how they prepared themselves like professionally how they do their hard works. Like example, I saw Sachin Tendulkar's lifestyle and everything very disciplined and very hardworking. This is I think for every sectors, even if he want to be a good teacher or good businessman or corporate, he need to be hardworking. I think India, yes, everywhere around the world they are very good thing, but Indian people are professionally very good. This is the I think they are very hardworking. That is the things. I do not want to say I'm too much of hardworking, but I get some discipline from my grandmother. This is true because I think family and culture, this is very important. I can remember actually like all of my family members, they are highly educated even in Bangladesh and everywhere. They are living around the world, but we get this hardworking attitude from my grandmother. So
but
I think
why Indian cricketers are hardworking, or maybe why cricketers are like that, because in India there is too much of competition.
yeah, true.
So a kid who started playing cricket, so they start at around 6 or 7 years when they are 7 years old, and they know they have to play cricket, so they have to do the routine regularly, and that's why once they reach out to 16 years of age, they've already done the same thing for 10 years, and if they continue doing it, then only they will climb the ladder and they will play for Indian cricket. And if you count, if you ask me how many cricketers in India are there, we don't have any number, because there are a lot of people play cricket in India. In fact, one of the I forgot the name of that player, but he debuted when he was 35 years of old for Indian cricket. So it's not like that only young people can make it. People who have skills, they make it at a later age as well, and that's how cricket is very popular in India. But the process is more important. And out of those thousands or hundreds of people playing, only 10% of them follow the process from their childhood, and then they play cricket for India. That is what they graduated. And on the other hand, I'll tell you one more interesting fact, that whenever India plays cricket around the world, because we have a lot of Indians around the world, so we have good spectators, and we have very good supporters in any country, be it any country. But when we go to Bangladesh, especially, there are very few supporters of Indian cricket because they follow Bangladesh, and that's how.
Actually, what can I tell you? Yes, maybe sometimes media, this, that, many things to play influence and other things. But I told you, like if you identify the origin of all of the Bangladeshi, this, that, you find that actually in somehow, in any point, I told you, I'm honestly giving you feedback. My grandmother from Kolkata, that is the fact. India. So if you even you do survey Bangladeshi people, this that you find in any point they are highly connected with Indian community in any point. Actually, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, it's a subcontinent. So I want to prefer to say in that way that it's a subcontinent cultures. So perhaps like India, Bangladesh, and Pakistan, if they move as a same country, it can be a biggest superpower in this world.
Certainly.
Yes. Even if you follow the like Adam Smith's his books on capitalizations and other things, you find 3 of the countries around the world. I want to respect everyone, but I am just trying to getting some information from historical point of view. The Adam Smith said 3 part of the world was rich. Number 1, like India. Okay. Number 2, Egypt. And number 3, eastern part of China. Then step by step, this economy actually move around. Its economy move to Europe to North America. This is the now step by step again, like India, China doing goods. So this is actually interlinks. Everything actually interlinked. If we try to figure out these things, even example now Bangladesh also economically doing good. It's because they are we are very close to India. So we have very good things. So everything actually interlinked. We do cricket, we do business, whatever it is. We have a very good chain system. I can think in that way.
And I think Sharif, we must do a special show that how we manage our borders between India and Bangladesh a couple of years back, because there were a lot of territories and there are a lot of territories within territories, and then how we sorted out the border because that would be a good case study for world to watch that what happened between India and Bangladesh.
Yes. The interesting thing is that I just want to share with you. I told you I'm project management consultant. So for doing projects and this thing, last year I visited like Bangladesh and Tripura border.
Right.
Okay.
Tripura is a place, right? Tripura is a part of India. So from Bangladesh, I have my visa. I directly go to Tripura. Actually, I saw very good harmony when in the evening time, if you go to the border area, definitely you visit it. So that time, actually, 2 countries they shared their flags. They're singing the national anthems. It's a very interesting things. Those who do not observe these things, how the like Indian people in Indian borders, Bangladeshi people in Bangladeshi borders, BSF and from India, both of them come and they are exchanging their flag. Every day it's happened, what I can understand. It's very interesting. And example, many people say that okay, this is the problem, that is the